Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central in Kent, Ohio, with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. And as per usual, we have another special story for you tonight, along with some added poetry from the island of Jamaica, from the Big Island. So let's go ahead and get this party started. First things first, you know what we need you to do. Go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel if you haven't done that already. Secondly, let's go ahead and share some words of wisdom also from the Big Island of Jamaica. Fiyah there, a muss-moos tail in tink, a cool breeze. Fiyah there, a muss-moos tail think a cool breeze. So what that translates to is when a fire is licking at a mouse's tail, that's the muss-moos, he thinks it's a cool breeze. So sometimes you can be in danger, and instead of realizing that the fire alarm that's going off is telling you that you're in danger, you just think it's a false alarm. So pay attention to the alarms that go off in your head, the alarms that go off in real life, etc. Otherwise, you could be like that muss-moos, thinking a fire licking at your tail is nothing but a cool breeze. And with that, let's go ahead and go to the selected poems of Miss Lou. None other than Miss Lou. I love Miss Lou. Miss Lou, Miss Lou, Miss Lou. I wish I could have spent much more time with Miss Lou, because Miss Lou was a woman after my own heart, I have to say. Okay, this one is called, and I hope I can read it. It's not going to be easy. I can see that already. It's looking difficult. About color and them thing. About color and them thing. Problem. Lord Massa, you too crumugin. Tap guan like you never know. For the people tell you, broad say, is a problem, them a show. If you expect to see progress, when the same thing named problem that a fire ignorance, and you can't blame the people them. You want them show fire big house and your motor car? But that no Jamaica problem. That a fire poppy show is no use when stranger come. For send your black grandma to hide and show off all of your white grandpapa photograph with pride. For the old woman can't hide weight, and no matter what you do, them one see her in a parlor, but them see her in a U. Them won't see her in a parlor, but them see her in a U. You know, see, it's time we stop fool up with self, stop save with face, stop neglect with problem them, so till them turn in a disgrace. Wash your dirty clothes, no hide them, no despise from where you come. Tackle your Jamaica problem them and stop beat up your gum. The name well fit the picture. Not a thing no wrong with that. More so ever, them left out enough of the problem where we got. Me know plenty problem that me could have tell them about. All the nah, call no name ya, I'd make me shut my mouth. Okay, you probably didn't understand all of that, but if you did, you're probably from Jamaica. or one of the other islands. Because I'm telling you right now, Miss Lou, she liked to go deep. She liked to go deep. And she didn't get no translation of that one. So you're just going to have to do the best that you can. That's all we can do. We just got to do the best that we can. And in the meantime, we're going to move on with our story of the night, the day they stole the letter J. The day they stole the letter J. And this story, as I explained last night when we started this story, it's a two-parter. When I started this story, I explained that I asked the question, actually, how would you feel if someone stole the first letter of your name from out of the alphabet? They just took it and didn't bring it back. And as long as that letter was missing from the alphabet, you disappeared right along with the first letter in your name. How would you feel? Is that a scary feeling? Because if that's a scary feeling, then what we're getting ready to do is finish up on this scary story. So we're going to backtrack just a little bit, and then we're going to continue on forward to the end of the story about Jelani and his friend. What's his friend's name? His friend's name, Juba? No. Jelani. Okay, there was a Juba there. But it's Jelani and... Well, there's Jelani and Nia and Jerome. There we go. Jelani and Jerome. So Jelani and Jerome, and the day they stole the letter J. So let's go ahead and get it on. Suddenly, and Jojo made a loud clap at this point. The trance broke. The man started speaking in what seemed like 1,000 different languages. He leaped up and landed in the blazing fire. He didn't just walk. He danced across those burning coals. And if this were not enough, he picked up a piece of flaming wood, bit off a mouthful, and chewed it up. It must have been good, because when he ate the whole thing, when he finished, he just laughed and patted his stomach. Then the whole crowd went into an uproar. They danced and sang in time with the drums. The festivities lasted long into the night, because once again, the gods had shown favor with the people. At this point, Jelani asked, did this mean the man didn't kill the tourist? Either that, or the gods saw fit to save him anyway, answered Jojo. Just then the phone rang. Jojo said it was probably his friend George, calling to let him know he was coming around for a haircut. He went into the back of the shop where he lived and answered it. That was some story, Jerome said as he got up and walked around. Do you really believe that voodoo stuff? Nah, it's just a story. What's that you're looking at, Jerome? Jerome had pulled the cloth off of the object Jojo had been polishing. He stepped back, scratching his head. It was a big wood carving of a letter J made out of stone, made out of some of Jojo's sacred wood. Jelani jumped up and ran over. It's beautiful, he said. Though the carving was shaped like the letter J, it had many, many interesting looking pictures and symbols carved into its stem. On each side of the stem where it split the top bar of the J, Jojo had carved the face of a young brother. The face on the right side of the stem was happy, but the face on the left side of the stem was sad. Ooh, I like it, said Jelani. I wish I could take it home. Ask Jojo to let you have it. He knows you like that crazy letter anyway, said Jerome. I don't know, said Jelani. Maybe we could take it with us and play a joke on old Jojo. That's not right, Jay. That's stealing. No, it's not stealing. It's just playing a little joke. Oh, I don't know. This don't seem right. Just tell Jojo we had to go home for lunch. We're just going to have some fun. We'll bring it back later, okay? Well, All right, said Jerome reluctantly, but we have to bring it back right after lunch. He yelled back to Jojo that they were leaving, and out the door they went. Jelani, with the sacred J, hung over his shoulder. It became clear very soon that they looked rather odd, two young brothers carrying a large letter J down the street. Also, they realized there would be nowhere to keep that J without someone asking them where they got it. So, when they came to a vacant lot, they decided to do the only thing any sensible person could do. They decided to bury the J. That way it would be safe until after lunch. Then they would take it back. When they buried the J in the ground, though, a strange thing happened. Let's hurry and eat so we can get that J back. I got a funny feeling after we buried it, Jelani said. Yeah, me too, said Jerome. Excuse me. So they ran the rest of the way to Jelani's house. When they came in the back door, things were in an uproar. Jelani's mother and big sister Nia were talking frantically, but they didn't seem to notice that Jelani and Jerome had come in. I don't understand it, Mama, Nia was saying. I called the airport to confirm my reservation, but they told me all the jumbo jets had completely disappeared. All the jumbo jets. When I asked about Jersey City, they said it was also gone from the face of the earth. It just disappeared. Jumbo jets, Jersey City, all gone in a twinkling. That's nothing, said her mother. Your father just called from work and told me the strangest thing. He said the jam disappeared right off his peanut butter and jelly sandwich just as he was getting ready to take a bite. Nia clutched her neck. My jade jewelry is gone. Her mother opened the refrigerator and saw that the jug of orange juice was missing too. Seems like all these things were just growing legs and walking away to a brighter day. We don't know. They just left. Wait a minute, said Nia. Only things that start with the letter J have disappeared. She checked the alphabet letters on the refrigerator door, and sure enough, only the J's were gone. But I can see the J's right there, pointed Jerome. You can, but they can't, said Jelani. Just like they don't see us. Everything that begins with J must have disappeared from the rest of the world, including us. Just then, Jelani's mother put her hands over her face. Oh no, she screamed. Where is Jelani? Jerome and Jelani were with the jam and the jelly, the jumbo jets in Jersey City, the jugs of juice and jade jewelry, the jeans and jackets, jackals and jaguars, jeeps and jukeboxes, and even old Joe, all locked invisibly in the world of J. The boys ran back out the door down the alley to the vacant lot where the J was buried. They knew they had to get the J back to Jojo and have him explain all the strange goings on. When they got to the vacant lot, though, they were surprised. It's gone, Jerome yelled. It's gone, Jerome yelled. It's gone, Jerome yelled. Jelani stepped up and looked into the shallow hole. There was nothing but an imprint of the J left in the soft dirt. At the same time, both boys began to cry. They didn't know what to do. I don't want to live the rest of my life in the world of J, Jerome wailed, his eyes starting to swell. My folks won't see me again, cried Jelani through water faucet tears. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? For a while they just stood there staring into that empty, gaping hole, standing like they were standing next to a graveside crying. Finally, Jerome said, Let's go back and tell JoJo what we did. Maybe he knows how to get us out of the world of J. They walked slowly, too confused to see that now people were noticing them. JoJo was busy cutting his friend George's hair when they came in. George said hello to the boys as they took a seat. Their heads were down. The tears had dried, leaving white streaks on their faces. "Well, if it ain't my little friend," said JoJo. "You all left in a hurry, didn't ya? I ain't get to even finish my story." JoJo said, Jerome, "We have something to tell you." "Oh, and what would that be?" "Well," started Jelani, but before he could say any more, he broke out crying again. He moaned and he groaned something awful about not wanting to live the rest of his life in the world of Jay. Jerome joined back in on the crying too. "Hush now, you two. You're already back in the regular world. Don't you know that yet? Didn't you hear my buddy George speak to you all when you came in the door?" "He's probably caught in the world of J too," Jelani said. "George begins with a G, not a J," JoJo said. "Don't y'all know how to spell George yet?" He stopped cutting hair and went over and put his arms around the boys. "I heard you all planning that little joke on me, but it seems to have backfired, didn't it? I carved that letter J for both of you boys. That was my surprise when you first came in, but I had to explain something about it. Since it was made out of sacred wood, it can never be buried and have its beauty hidden without some strange things happening. After I finished talking to George on the phone and saw you all really took the J, I thought I'd better go tell you about the J's powers. On the way to your house, I saw where it had been buried, so I dug it back up again. At that point, everything that had disappeared could again be seen. Do you boys feel better now?" Jelani and Jerome nodded yeah with relief. JoJo went to the back and brought the letter J back up front. At first, neither Jelani nor Jerome wanted to take it. JoJo could see they were still afraid. "You don't have to fear powers," JoJo said, "if you know how to use them. Go on and take it. The powers might come in handy someday." Jerome and Jelani thanked JoJo for the gift. They took the J home. When they came in the back door to Jelani's house, his mother rushed over, picked him up, and hugged him so tight. "Jelani, my son, I was so worried about you. Things got crazy around here this afternoon. Where were you boys? And what's that weird looking thing you're carrying up on your shoulder?" Pointing at the letter J. "We were just around to JoJo's barbershop listening to some stories, Ma. This is a sacred J that he carved just for us." "JoJo, huh? You could just as well call him Juju if you ask me. I wouldn't be surprised if he was behind all our troubles this afternoon." "Does that mean we can't keep the sacred letter J?" asked Jelani. "You can keep it if you like, but not in this house," said his mother sternly. "Where will we keep it then, Mama?" "If you want my opinion," said his mama, "you could take it out in the backyard and bury it." Jelani and Jerome looked at each other and grinned. But they sure didn't bury it in that backyard because they didn't need no more trouble. And by the way, this story was written by Jabari Mahari. So there we have Jelani and Jabari both in one book. And so I'm going to give a shout out to the real live Jelani and Jabari, the twins of my former roommate, Dr. Fran Dorsey, because I don't know if he was inspired by that book to name the twins Jelani and Jabari. Maybe it's just another day they stole the letter J coincidence. But I hope if there's anybody out there named JoJo making some letter J's out of some sacred wood, and Jelani and Jabari happen to get a hold of it, that they do not bury it. Because I would hate to see them young men, fine young men that they are, disappear from the face of the earth. And that's all we have for our story for tonight. That was our very scary story about the day they stole the letter J. So at this time, all good children know what they need to do. It's time for y'all to get a clue. Do what you know you need to do. Take your little head and lay it on your little pillow, on your little bed, while you close those your eyes and wait on that sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you'll know that it's time for you to rise and shine, old chillin' of mine. And in the meantime, please, 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 if you run across a sacred letter K, please don't bury it today, because I'd like to be around for a little bit longer myself. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, hopefully all you adults out there have already signed up, subscribed to our Tubular Black Facts channel, and we can just go ahead and move on and groove on as we go to our extra. Peace, at least, with plenty of justice for everybody out there in the Tubular Black Facts land.